According to CAA, drivers on cell phones are 23 times more likely to be involved in a collision compared with non-distracted drivers. Now, in this installment of our RCMP Monthly interview, Anka Nave takes a local look at the issue with Staff Sergeant Joe Wenish of the Lloydminster RCMP.
So today we're going to be talking about distracted driving, and we know that cell phone use is one of the big problems that facing the roads with distracted driving. And what are some of the other forms of distracted driving?
Using laptop computers in vehicles or portable disc players where there's a screen on it for a deep portable DVD player with them set on the dash to watch movies. Things like putting on makeup. There's GPS, adjusting GPS and those kinds of things in vehicles. The most common though is playing with a cell phone or talking on the cell phone or texting. And
how about having pets in the vehicle? What law is there dealing with pets in the car?
Basically what it boils down to is you can't allow a pet to interfere with the driver of the vehicle. So sitting on the driver's lap with the head out the window, anything to do with the driver or interfering with the driver's vision. It's up to you as the driver to make sure that the pet is somewhere contained and it's not interfering with you. In having said that, I think it would be the best thing to do is put a pet in a kennel. We always talk about pets being family members. If you have to stop suddenly, that pet becomes a projectile in the vehicle and can be seriously hurt or killed if you had to come to a sudden stop.
How much do distracted drivers get fined, and is it just for the driver or the owner of the vehicle? Do they get demerits, or does it show up on their driver's abstract?
Typically it's for the driver. There's no demerit points associated with distracted driving, and the fines can range from $172 in Alberta and specifically in Saskatchewan for talking on the cell phone to $280 in Saskatchewan. The provincial traffic unit came into town, and I spoke to one of the people there, and they said where they were set up, it's amazing at how many people were actually driving up to the intersection and either texting or talking on their cell phone. Interestingly enough, one of the biggest arguments was, well, I was at the stoplight, I'm stopped, I'm not driving, I can still text. No, sorry. You have to pull over and park in order to be able to text or talk on the phone.
Well, thank you very much, Staff Sergeant Joe Wenish, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, at that time of the week again, time to take a nostalgic look back at the news reports of the past in retrospect this week from the archives. In this edition, Brian Hardy brings us a story about Wainwright's contribution to a centennial time capsule. But first, we meet a stylish young Hillmond woman with beauty queen aspirations.
This week in 1988, we meet a prospective pageant queen.
Jackie Ridner is taking the first step toward the competition for Miss Lloydminster. She's here for some preliminary judging and some pre-pageant preparation. Ridner is one of 17 hopefuls for the title. The 17-year-old Hillman girl says she's here for the experience.
I just thought it would be a good experience to get. And there's just something new to try.
Pageants like this are certainly not new, although this is the first Miss Lloydminster version, and pageant coordinator Patty Faulkner says this could lead to a national contest.
We feel that it is an opportunity of a lifetime for our contestant from Lloydminster. She could easily become Miss Canada.
The pageant takes place August 21st at the Tropical Inn. Gwen Polakowski, Broadcast Center News.
It's August 2005, and we report on the launch of a time rocket.
A giant silver time capsule is making its way through Alberta. Communities are sealing current-day items in smaller containers and inserting them into the main capsule.
Each community has received an empty one, so they're filling it with, clippings and pictures and whatever they feel is pertinent to the history of their town moving into the future.
Wainwright is one town that's put together its own microcapsule. Its capsule has been filled with all kinds of memorabilia.
Everything from town council notes to pictures and history of Wainwright.
Well, that Wainwright was a good place to live, and I hope in 100 years that it still is a good place to live.
Organizers in Wainwright hope their information will show people in the future what it was like to live in 2005. Jessica Isaac, NewsHour.
Join us next time when we look back at the first CPCA finale in retrospect this week from the archives.